A very good Sunday afternoon to you. I hope your weather has been as beautiful where you are as it's been here in Manchester today. An absolutely great day. What I want to talk about today is kind of where I am with my collection, and the possibility that I could be coming to the end of my watch buying, because I think that I'm getting to the point where I'm actually going to be satisfied. The reason I say that, as we're aware if you've watched a number of my recent videos, I'm hoping to buy myself one, possibly two high-end watches come September or after September this year, kind of as a present to myself. Now the two watches that I'm looking at buying, you've got the Rolex Explorer 2 Polar, which is a 216570, and the other one is the Omega Good Planet GMT, which is got so long numbers, 232.30.44.22.03001. Now, where that will bring me is I will have those two watches. I will also have my Omega 300 pre-coaxial bond, and I will also have my 1969 vintage GMT Master 1 Rolex. So I will have four very good quality cornerstone, never to leave my possession watches, plus all the other everyday runabout watches that I wear on a fairly regular basis, including the vintage Seiko that I bought back in 1979. Now, that being the case, am I satisfied with that situation? I kind of think I am, you know. I'm not kind of one of these collectors who feel as though that it's kind of a never-ending collection scale. I don't particularly adhere to the tier mentality, for instance, that you should work your way up through the tiers of watch collecting. If you watch my video from a couple of days ago regarding my pond philosophy, you can dip in and out at whatever level of watch fancy that takes your fancy, depending on what money you have in your bank account. So kind of where I am is that I mean, to be perfectly brutally honest, I'm extremely happy and very, very content with my low-end, relatively low-priced watches that I wear, and I'm delighted, of course, with my GMT Master 1 and my Omega 300 Professional. Now, so the question arises, do I actually need these other two watches? Well, the answer to that, of course, is no, I don't. Not really. Do I want these other two watches? Yes. The Polar really took my fancy about a fortnight ago when I tried it on at a Rolex AD in Chester. And the Good Planet GMT, I popped into my local prestigious jewellers in my local market town and tried that on there. Must be about 6 weeks or so, I guess now, and it's lovely. Now, my only reservation about the Omega is how thick it is. I mean, this is a big, chunky piece of watch that you're going to be wearing. But it is beautiful. The coaxial movement is absolutely delightful. The way that it looks in the back, it sits well on my wrist. I do have an 8-inch wrist, so I'm slightly bigger wristed than kind of the average, as it were. So it sits quite nicely on my wrist. The price is, it's about 4.6, I think, give or take. And I think because I will be buying whichever watch out of these two, I will be buying cash. So therefore, I'll negotiate some kind of deal. So at this point in time, these two watches are more about wanting them rather than needing them. Do I need to bring my collection to a close? Again, no, not really, because who knows, kind of in 12 months maybe, there could be something else out there that's nibbling away at me saying, come and have a look at me, try it on, see if you like it. But as I've mentioned in another video, I don't have a grail piece. I just don't. My view on this wicked and wonderful watch world that we're all interested in is that there are so many nice, good-looking, well-engineered timepieces out there for us to choose from. So for me to say there will be no more after these two is a nonsense. But I think that if I do go down the route of buying these two, that it will kind of complete my collection, because I will have more or less everything that I require for every kind of situation. I have in my collection anything from a beta all the way through to a very collectible vintage, through to probably what is one of the most comfortable watches ever made that could be possibly worn on your wrist, which is this one. I've not met a person yet who doesn't like this bracelet on this particular watch. It is a delight to wear. And I will have a secondary Rolex in my collection at that point. So am I saying that will be it? Absolutely not, no. Am I saying that I will still be moving upwards in cost for buying watches? Definitely not. Will I still be potentially tempted by a £100 watch, a £150 watch? Absolutely. Absolutely. It could well be, 12, 18 months down the line, a Steinhardt might talk to me, or an Aramar might talk to me, or, just something, one of those, for want of a better phrase, budget range divers stroke sports watches, may talk to me and say, come on, put one of these in your collection. Will I whittle down my other watches? Possibly, yes. I can see that there is a couple in there that might not be getting the wrist time they deserve. I have a couple of 1980s Seikos, for instance, that don't get any wrist time at all. So they are in a kind of a secondary watch box, not a watch winder, but a watch box. And if they don't get any wrist time, why are they there? What are they doing? So there will be people out there who will be interested in those. There always are. So they may well leave my possession and therefore put a little bit more money in my coffers, which I may well then put towards something which is, €360, 400, 500 pounds. Who knows? There may be something else out there that later I might fancy the look of. Just a little bit of fun. Something just to wear that's that little bit different, and perhaps another diver or another sports watch that really, if it gets banged up, it doesn't really matter. So am I coming to the end? It is possible. It is possible that these final two purchases could actually be the end of the big stuff. And I'm not particularly worried about that, because not having a grail, not feeling that there is a Patek out there, for instance, calling to me constantly, or not that there's a JLC out there whispering in my ear that, you know, you need to go out and buy yourself a reverso, because that's not happening to me. I actually feel quite liberated by this. I feel that if I say to myself, you know, Stuart, this is going to be it. After these two, there doesn't need to be any more. And if that's the case, then maybe the money that I would have spent on prestigious watches in a couple of years' time, you know, perhaps I could take my beloved for a nice holiday. Now, I appreciate that nice holidays are very transient, but whilst my health is relatively good enough, I'd like to squeeze quite a lot out of my life if I can. So maybe that's where I'm coming from. Maybe I'm thinking, well, you know, if I carry buying watches, or although the watches will be with me constantly, they are not experiential. They're not enriching my life as far as experiences are concerned. So maybe that's what's pushing me towards saying that the final two purchases will actually be the final two purchases. And should I ever get the itch again, then maybe I will rein myself in to be sub £500. Who knows? And I'm quite secure with that. I'm surprisingly secure with that. I don't feel threatened by that decision. I feel quite secure that I can live my life under those rules, if you like. You know, and if, let's say I do fancy something expensive later, what's to stop me flipping the Polar, for instance? You know, we all know that regardless what everybody says, you know, your Rolex will always maintain its value. No, it won't. It's complete nonsense. But it will still have a relatively good residual value if I flip it to another private collector, or I trade it in towards something else that's prestigious. So I'm kind of feeling that whatever I do, I don't lose. So I think that's it. I think that's it with this one. Let me know what you think about this. It's not so much kind of wanting advice and pointing to you and saying, you know, what do you think? Help me out. It's about whether you feel that where I am is perhaps a realistic place to be. I say I feel quite settled with it, to be honest. You know, there'll be lots of people out there who'll say, you know, I'm always going to collect watches. It's always something I'm going to do, and I'm always going to buy better and better and better stuff. And obviously, of course, the better stuff is always more money. Anyway, that's it for this one. Let me know what your thoughts are on this. I'd be quite interested to hear from you. Drop them, of course, down below as always. If you have any questions, comments, ideas for videos, by all means, drop me a line down below. If this is your first time here and you've enjoyed this, by all means have a look at my back catalogue, see if there's anything in there that's of any interest, and if it is, feel free to subscribe. Anyway, for now, that's it for this one. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.